Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Walsh. And lots of hugging and kissing under the golden moon that shines a silver light. Oh, I'd like to be one of them, but I'm like a wandering sheep on this island, with no one to love me, with no one to kiss me. Zanzibar outside the voice of the one, John Holt. I want to remind everybody, this is strictly roots reggae music. Strictly.
Getting ready for our webinar on money, relationships.
We are the Major Lazer sound.
Getting juicy, getting juicy, making love to money, yeah. Getting juicy, making lots of money, letting all our juices flow, oh yeah.
If you know the song, you sing it.
Whoa, whoa, oh. 5 more minutes till we start. So this is Phoenix Moranitz here, the co-founder of the Awakened Women Conference and sensuality coach for women. And we're going to be talking about attracting your twin flame relationship with money. So you're going to want to get your journal ready. You're going to want to get into a quiet place. You're going to want to get a pen, any sacred objects of yours, and settle into the next hour, turning off your phone, closing your browsers. This is really, really, really important stuff here, and it requires 100% of your attention and your presence. So bring your awareness in, get prepared. I'm getting prepared right now. We're going to start in about a couple minutes here. So I'm just going to let everyone get in, get settled in, get some water, and we're going to have an amazing ritual today. So get your questions ready, and we're about to start soon. So running.
A long time me a sing and me no sing no hit. Give me little rhythm, let me sing one quick. This is the studio and I'm another song. Come no music man, make me match up the land. I want to sing a hit song. It's been so long I want to sing a hit song. Don't keep me down, I want to sing a hit song. It's been so long I want to sing a hit song.
Awesome. Great. So I'm just going to get started here. We're about 2 minutes to 6, and I know that takes people a bit of time to get in. But this is such an important topic, and it's been something I've been talking about with women from around the world over the last couple months. And I'm realizing that there needs to be a big conversation because it is such a part of the collective. It is such a part of what people are wanting to transform in the world. And there hasn't been a lot of conversation around it, around humanity's relationship to money, the understanding of what money is, and how to heal our relationship with money so that it can be used in a powerful way with proper stewardship. So today we're going to be talking about how we can attract our twin flame relationship with money, and going through a powerful ritual tonight in how you can actually take control of your relationship with money so that you have a relationship that is built on trust and honesty and love and support versus neglect and hatred and fear and all of the other emotions that accompany so many people's problems with money. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a glass of water with you. Also, quiet space where you can really focus and really drop into the questions I'm going to be asking you tonight, as well as having like a journal or some paper and a pen. And any sacred objects. I have my citrine crystal here. This is a really powerful crystal for manifestation and prosperity. And so any sacred objects that you want to have with you. And today we're going to be talking about our relationship with money. And obviously the things that we teach in the world are things that we have to first go through and walk through, and understanding our relationship with money. And I just wanted to start off by just sharing the reason why I feel called to do this tonight with all of you is because over the last 6 months, I've made more in my business than I have in the last couple of years of working. And it has been definitely a challenge and a journey in understanding that it's not necessarily about working harder. It's not necessarily about, the amount of skill or talent you have in making money. It's actually about repairing our relationship with money and understanding that money is an energy, and energy is alive. And so our understanding of energy is that it is a part of us too as well. We feed it, we create it, and we're also a part of it. So when we're talking around money being alive, most people think, wow, that's silly. It sits in my wallet or my bank. And actually, if we can find a way to relate to money as something that is alive, it's a lot easier for us to address the relationship problems that we have with our money, with our wealth, with our prosperity. And so the ritual that we're going to be doing tonight is actually doing just that. It's transforming our belief system from money being a static or, stagnant thing, that's just sitting in our wallets, to actually being alive, to being something that we're in a relationship with. And it's actually a really fascinating process that came out of my last mastermind, my last women's mastermind. And it was so beautiful because we started to unpack our own money stories and relationship stories with it, and realized that a lot of it is around shame or guilt or fear. And so healing those actually requires love and forgiveness, but it's a lot harder to do that when you think of money as being this just static, dead object instead of something being alive. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and then also go into our ritual. And just so that you know a little bit about who I am, my name is Phoenix, and I am a sensuality coach for women. So I work with women in helping them unlock their sensual desire and using sensual energy and flow to allow for greater harmony in all areas of their lives, whether it's through their businesses, to have more pleasurable businesses, in their relationships, to bring more harmony, also within themselves, so they actually have a better relationship with who they are. And I'm also the co-founder of the Awakened Woman Conference, which is coming up next month in Bali. We are bringing together 300 amazing women to go deep into exploring what it means to be a feminine leader and what that means for you. And so we have incredible speakers like Eve Ensler, the founder of the Vagina Monologues, 1 Billion Rising in V-Day. She's going to be our keynote speaker. We also have Alexi Panos, who is a leader in the emerging wisdom movement. We have Christina Carrillo Bucaram from Fully Raw. We have 30 other amazing, incredible speakers. We have over 40 workshops, and it's definitely been a labor of love over the past year in putting this together. So I've been talking with women from around the world around these issues of money and relationships. So that's why I was inspired today to bring us all together. And so to start, I just want to talk a little bit about our power as a woman is really rooted in understanding that we are divine creators. We are gifted with wombs. We are gifted with innate magic and connection to nature that I would say for millennia has been disrupted, and we've been disconnected from our divine birthright in understanding ourselves as divine, radical creators of our own realities. And so my mission is really to bring women back into that. And I think we're all here and we're all seeing that there is a global awakening happening of the feminine in men and women, that we're seeing more conversations happening around compassion and forgiveness and unity rather than polarity. And it's the divine feminine awakening, because just to give a little bit of context, we're coming out of patriarchy. And I guess patriarchy you could consider is the shadow of the masculine. And we've also come out of the shadow of matriarchy. And now we're moving into something that is more elevated, which is the divine feminine. And then we'll be moving into awakening the divine masculine and having unity, and then creating something that we don't even know what yet. So with the awakening of the divine feminine, it's asking for us to start using feminine principles and wisdom in understanding things like money, in understanding how to be in right relationship with the land, with the First Nations of every country, and also in being in right relationship with ourselves and honoring our own needs as women, and those that identify as women. So what we're noticing is that there is really this, and I have my notes here, that's why I'm looking down. Prepared, yes, I am. I'm really interested in seeing how there really needs to be this connection with the healing around money. And I would say most people actually harbor a lot of guilt and a lot of resentment around money because they've grown up with that. And we've seen people around the world abusing money. We've seen, whole jungles and rainforests being decimated because of profit and because of capitalism and ultimately from commerce. And so there's been a backlash. There's been people holding resentment around money and seeing the destruction that it can cause. And on the other end and spectrum of that, essentially it's not money itself that's evil. It's the way that it is used that is wrong. It is the way that power is wielded. And so when we understand and separate those two, we understand that money is just an energy, and it is I would say it's a more masculine force. It has a more masculine energy of the provider energy, of providing. It is there to give us access to adventures and support us with nourishing foods and support our business endeavors and help us live a beautiful and a wonderful life. And so when used in that way, we can use it to support other charities and organizations and projects. We can use it to gift our friends and celebrate others. And so when we understand it's not the essence of money is corrupt, it's actually how it's used. So that's number one. That's the first thing that we need to start looking at as humanity, is how can we as a collective heal this wound with money. And it actually starts with you. And that's where this is really beautiful. And so in this ritual that we're going to dive into here, we're going to start talking around how we can anchor in this energy of trust. And actually it's this healing of the masculine too as well, because as we know, money is a more masculine energy, because it is a provider energy. It is there to provide for us. And there's still a lot of wounding that we even have around the masculine. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what's happening in the States, but there is a lot of polarity happening between the masculine and feminine that we're even seeing like played out in politics. And there's a lot of shadow being revealed. And so what we're wanting to do is heal that shadow within ourselves. And that's where the change starts. So through this ritual, we're going to anchor in this new commitment to showing up and healing these wounds, as well as creating trust with our money, with our wealth, with our relationship. So what you're going to want to get is your candles, your crystals, your journal. And I'm going to walk you through this process first. And I actually have a template that I've created that I'm going to share with you at the end of the call. And the reason for this is I really want you to think about all of the questions, and I want you to focus on, going inward and then using the template and writing it out afterwards. when you can really settle in and feel into that. So I'll post the link to that at the very end of the hour. And first, I just want to start with meditation. And this meditation is going to just kind of ground us in, bring us all together. And so I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes and just begin to feel the root of your spine straightening. I want you to feel into the root and the base of your pelvis. And closing your eyes, allow your belly to soften and feeling your breath deepen. And begin to just let any thoughts of the day melt away. Begin to feel your energy being centered and rooted. With your breath deepening, imagine a root, a golden root, starting to grow from the base of your spine and is beginning to travel through the layers of Mother Earth. Feeling into her, going deep into her center. And feel your love and support for all that she does for us in our lives, for all that she provides, for being the support beneath your feet every day. And just feel and send your deep love and gratitude to her. Feel that connection to her as your divine mother. Taking a deep breath, then begin to feel the love that she holds for you. This deep and powerful love that she holds for you, traveling up through this root, traveling up through the corridor of your spine, and traveling all the way up to your heart, and feeling that being centered in there. And take a moment there. Take a deep breath in. And then I want you to feel the hearts and souls of everyone who is watching this or who has watched this. And feel your love and gratitude for them. And see the prosperity that they are calling in, the money and the wealth and the divine support pouring into their lives like a waterfall, like a rainfall, like a torrent of love coming towards them. And then also feel that energy and that love coming towards you. Basking you in this beautiful energy, this warmth, this divine and delicious love. That is the essence of wealth. That is the essence of prosperity. And taking a deep breath. Allow your eyes to open. And we're going to feel into money as if it were a friend or a lover. So for myself, I consider my wealth a lover. I want to have a juicy relationship with him. Feel into the name that you want to give your wealth. This could be a spiritual name. This could be a name that sounds sexy, whatever, whatever it is. This could be a name that sounds comforting. It could be a female or male, or whatever you imagine this person to be. They could be a friend. And I want you to feel into that energy of who they are in your life. And give them a name and write down that name in your journal. Now, we're going to do a bit of reflection here. And this is why it was really important to turn off your browsers and to turn off your Facebook and your notifications, because you really need to feel this and reflect on this in order to understand. But the root, and speaking of which, mine just went off. But the root of our relationship and how that has been so far, I want you to reflect on that. So how have your feelings and attitudes towards this relationship been? Okay. Have you always felt kind of in a torrid love affair with your money? Where, money will show up in large quantities and then leave the next day. And it feels like, kind of like a random one night stand. Or do you feel like it's like this tempestuous, anger-filled relationship where you're angry for them not showing up in your life enough, and you feel upset and neglected and rejected? What are some of the core feelings that you have around your money? And this is really important to be honest and truthful with yourself, because in order to transform the relationship that you have, you actually need to first understand where your relationship is at and what are the fundamental elements and dynamics that are present in order to transform them. For anyone who's ever been to counseling, it's the same thing. If you have rifts in your relationship, you need to first understand what's happening in the relationship in order to then create a new relationship. So, I'll give you some examples that I've used in the past. For myself, I've felt in the past that, I had this love affair with money, where, money would come and I'd get very excited. And then I would get, really joyous and celebrate and become almost like consumed. And then I would spend all my money, and then I would have nothing. And then I would feel like, I'd been abandoned. And it's interesting because that kind of mirrored my relationships at the time, which is interesting that once you start to see the patterns, you realize that it's not external. There's nothing external happening. It's all internal. And so those were kind of some of my core feelings. So feeling like rejected, used and abused, or, like given love and then having that love taken away. So just take a few moments here and write down some of those core feelings and beliefs that you have around your relationship with money right now. How have you viewed this person in your life so far? How have you seen them? Have you seen them as being evil? Maybe you've had kind of like I had one person describe it as like kind of a contempt, right? And it's interesting because actually when you think about it, if you had a friendship like that, how would your friend feel if you always had kind of like this contempt for them, or like this passive aggressiveness, or like, yeah, they're my friend, but they're kind of an asshole, Of course, this friendship is going to suffer because the way that we approach it. If we treat that relationship with a sacred love and commitment and honor, then the relationship is going to become this beautiful journey together. But if we don't have that initial belief, and if we're not showing up in that first, then there's no chance for that relationship to grow. How have you viewed this person as absent? Or have you had shame around being in a relationship with them? Have you felt guilt about being in a healthy relationship with them? Good questions to ask. These are the things that you want to start writing about. Have you treated them with honor or respect, or disregard and anger? Interesting questions. And then how have you shown up in the relationship? So has it been a one-way relationship where you expect them to give you everything and you actually don't show up? And what I mean by that is, you expect money to just float in the door, but you don't actually show them any love or attention. And this is different from working. And I want to make that distinction in that some people think you have to work hard for money. And I will say that it's the same assumption that people make where they, do you have to work hard to earn love? Does a child have to, do backflips or perform for you in order for you to love them? No, they just simply have to accept your love, which they do gladly. And it's the same thing with you is learning how to accept the love that your money wants to give you and also showering it back on them. But you don't have to earn that, if you know what I mean. There's people around the world that are winning the lottery every day. There's people that are, being given large clients and large contracts, and they don't necessarily work harder than somebody else, but they're aligned. So you're going to want to acknowledge all of the ways that you've shown up, all of the assumptions that you've had about them. And then you also want to acknowledge, how have you felt that they've shown up, right? Just to have this in your letter. How have you felt that they've shown up in your life? When I say them, money. And then the next part of this is you want to acknowledge the ways that you've shown up and ask for forgiveness and apologize. This is very, very, very important. It's the same thing in a relationship. When we screw up, if we are to salvage that relationship and actually create more trust and actually learning from that lesson, we really need to own our own stuff, and we need to show up and apologize and understand how we showed up in that situation. It's not about being right. It's not about being wrong. It's about what part of that do I own? So in your letter, you want to really, apologize. Let money know how you have shown up, the assumptions that you've held about them, and recognize that and own that. And then the next key component now is moving into getting clear on the type of relationship that you would like. And this is really important, is you want to start to feel into what does this ultimate relationship look like? And for me, I find it helps to, get in the mood, right? So I've lit candles. I like to dress in beautiful clothing, so whether it's like lingerie, put on a little bit of lipstick, setting the space, right, for envisioning how delicious this will feel to be in a right relationship with your money. So that's where setting the container is so important, right? To anchor in that energy, because it's going to help remind you and bring you back to that place if you ever go back into fear or neglect or anger. It's coming back to that juiciness, right, that you want to feel in relationship. So, really feel into your heart. Sometimes it helps to rub your heart and to just feel into that space, maybe move your body around and start to feel into what would the ultimate and ideal juicy relationship with your money and wealth feel like? How do you want to feel in this relationship? So some ideas could be, I want to feel so loved and supported and nourished. I want to feel like I am this delicious queen that is just lavished with love. I want to feel so supported and nourished in this relationship. I want to feel like I am supported in any dream that I have with abundance to come through. I want to feel just so delicious and expansive and expanded, you know. I want to feel like it is my birthright, and I want to feel my birthright and feel the beauty that it has to be in a beautiful relationship, you know, and being able to share that love with other people, and being able to shower that upon other people too as well. So just take a few minutes here and write down what exactly this relationship is going to feel like really feel like, you know, use words that are descriptive like juicy or passionate, stable, consistent, you know. How is money showing up in your life? Money is showing up easily. I don't have to earn it. I just be and I receive this love from my money. You know, money is attracted to me. Money is attracted to me. Isn't that interesting? You know, when we talk about partnerships, you know, we say, oh, I'm so attracted to that person, or, you know, oh, they're so attracted to me. It's the same thing with money. Like, do you want money to be in love with you? And like, like I want that, you know, I think everybody does. And it's, you know, I want to feel like it's just this abundance of a cornucopia of, you know, taking trips and having fun with friends and, you know, jet setting and, you know, supporting amazing causes that I love. And whenever I have an amazing idea, knowing that I have the money there to fund it. So writing down all of these in this letter is so, so important. Reliable, you know, a respectful relationship. What are the values that you want in this relationship? So, you know, respect, authenticity, integrity, enthusiasm, joy, passion. The list can go on, right? What are some of the core values that will define your relationship? And you're going to want to put this somewhere too. You're going to want to put this letter on your altar. I highly recommend making an altar for your money. This will help bring energy and awareness and presence. So every time you walk by that altar, you're sending that love there. You're going to want to, you know, place crystals there and really make it a place where it is divine prayer and love for your money. And now this is the beautiful part. How are you going to show up for your money? So you've gotten clear on how the relationship currently is. You've acknowledged how you've shown up and how you would like that to change. You've now acknowledged how you would like this relationship to transform and how you would like to feel. And now you are going to talk about how are you going to show up in your relationship with money. So what are the ways that you will share love and show love and support? So some of those ways could be, you know, I will have a weekly date night with my money. You know, maybe it's every Thursday night. I will, you know, put on some nice clothes and anoint myself with oils and light candles and do my finances, you know, go over my weekly budget or go over my weekly finances. Maybe that's setting up your altar to money, you know, like flowers and making it super beautiful and having, you know, devoting your energy to it. You know, maybe it could be every time I purchase something, I will give a little prayer and a little gratitude blessing, and I will bless the money that I'm actually using so that it actually cleans that money and infuses it with love. Write down a few key ways that you're going to decide to show up from here on out in your relationship with money. So I'll give you a moment there to get creative. Mm. Mm. And now this is just an initial starting point for your letters. So you will want to take some time to really craft this out. And I do recommend, even after this call, you know, taking an hour or two and just really setting your intentions. It's easy to get distracted and like go watch politics or, you know, go and chill out and watch some TV or a movie. But I highly recommend after this call, shutting off the laptop, writing out your manifesto, going to the link that I post and downloading your template, and taking the time to really anchor in the energy of this new relationship that you want to create. Just as with a relationship that you have in your life, it takes energy and devotion to making it work. And it takes real love and compassion and space and presence. So give yourself that time to really go and do that. And I think the last piece that I wanted to share in this ritual is it's giving gratitude. So at the end of your letter, just stating that you have so much gratitude for the ability to have this communication, and that you just have gratitude for your relationship and the deepening of this relationship, and that you are committed and devoted to making this work. So that is the initial ritual piece, the beginning point. And these conversations are really important because in one of the calls that I did with my mastermind, and we were talking about this and unpacking our own relationship with Steve or Joe or Tamara, these money archetypes in our lives. We really unpacked some deep wounding. One of the stories that someone shared was around, how they'd received a large settlement, from an accident that had happened. And they had misspent the money, on everything from like frivolous, shopping at Walmart to, ways that weren't so supportive of them. And they lost trust in their ability to be trusted with money. And that was a deep sense of shame and guilt. And then there was also this attachment to money having to come from pain because the money had come from a settlement, an accident. And so we really unpacked like the wounding there. And it was so powerful because if we don't understand the core wounding that we have in our relationships, we can expect to transform them no matter how much praying or manifesting or, or tapping or, any of these personal development tools that we have at our disposal. If we actually don't deal with the core wounds that kind of drive our conscious programming, we're not going to see the results. And this is what I've realized is that as we're doing this work, it transforms us. Like life is a journey, and this is really asking for you to look at like, what is life showing you right now? What are the areas that you need to bring your presence to? And I know that this is a big one for most women right now. I'm seeing this, is that our relationship with money is also connected to our relationship with the masculine, and healing those wounds of being supported, of being nourished, of being loved in a way that doesn't require conditions, really having that sense of unconditional love. And so I'm going to be actually doing part 2 of the ceremony on Friday. I'll send out the link. And the second part is actually the fear burning ceremony. And so that's really where we kind of dig a little bit deeper, and we go into those core woundings that we've had in the past. So we're going to actually bring up a couple of stories that we have and really unpack how those still run our lives, so to speak, and where they're attached to, and then how we can actually release them and be open for new energy. And it's a cleansing process. So I'm going to be doing that this Friday. You'll be able to get the link to that as well as the replay. So if you can't watch that time, I suggest signing up for the replay. And I really encourage, I would love to hear your stories. I would love to hear any of your reflections on how this goes for you and what happens from this. So you can email me at phoenix@awconference.org. And I read every single email that people write me. And although it might take me longer than 24 hours to respond, I do read those emails, and they're powerful because also our reflection process really helps in understanding, our baggage, understanding our core wounding. And so I also want to suggest too as well, on the page where the template is, it's actually on our awconference.org site. And we are doing a live stream of the conference in Bali this year in November. And what's really exciting about that is that we've had so many women around the world who are like, I want to go. I can't afford going to Bali. And I'm like, that's totally fine. That is totally legit. Understandable. People have lives, people have children. So you can actually watch the live stream from the comfort of your own home. You're going to be able to see live keynotes from Eve Ensler, Alexi Panos, myself, many other women, and we're going to be diving into not only areas around money, we're going to be talking around our relationships and empowered feminine sensuality and sexuality. We're going to be talking around feminine leadership, and what that really means in our lives. We're going to be talking around sisterhood and healing the wounds of sisterhood that we're seeing around the world. We're going to be diving into all of this stuff. And so you actually can have access to that for the entire week, currently for $89. And what is really beautiful about that is if this was supportive at all for you today, I highly recommend getting your ticket. And what I'm really passionate about is giving back as well and supporting those who I know are doing what we need in the world. And so 20% of all of those tickets are actually going towards Sacred Stone Camp in Dakota and actually going towards the water protectors there. Water is life. And at Awakened Woman, we really believe in supporting women, in supporting our children, and supporting the land stewards of our land and the First Nations of every country. So we're so excited to be able to support in that way because we can't be there in person with them. So we want to support their efforts in halting the pipeline access there. So all 20% of the ticket purchases from that link on that page will actually go towards Sacred Stone Camp. And we're going to be announcing how much money that will be closer towards the conference. So I'm just going to pop the link in for you right now. And it's really, really beautiful to give back in such beautiful ways, because when we also give back, we realize that we actually do have enough abundance, that we are the source of our own abundance. And I think realizing that we have everything we already need inside of us, we just have to see it and feel it. And so I like us to just take a moment to breathe and feel all of the women and men who have ever watched this video or are ever watching this right now, and sending them love and support, and seeing all of the resources and the financial wealth and prosperity that they need and want flowing to them, nourishing them, falling into their life with golden radiance. And then sending that energy out to the water protectors in Dakota, to the First Nations in British Columbia who are advocating for all of our lands, for all of the First Nations everywhere around our planet who are these incredible stewards of our Mother Earth, and sending them the support and the financial resources for them to continue their work, and to ourselves finally. To continue our own journey. So thank you so much for joining us on today's call. I'm so excited that we got to do this. I'm going to go and write my letter right now and take some time out because it's very important. So I look forward to hearing from you. I will be sending out the link for the Friday ritual to all of those who signed up. And let me know how it goes. Send me an update, post on our Facebook group. It's the 2016 Awakened Woman Conference. You can click to join, or it's on our website, and join this global movement of women who are awakening into their divine birthright as the creators and the magic makers and the powerful women that they are. So sending you much love, much gratitude. Thank you for doing this work with me today and joining in. And until next time, sending you infinite love and blessings.